Hey, Love Will team. I hope you're doing good today. So this is for Gary, Marie, Derek. Okay. In response to the email, Derek, the number one thing we need to do is take care of the invoice for the SEO, um, uh, build out stage, and that's like going to be 2 3 weeks. This is meta tag, metadata, keywords, and some restructuring of the website to go with what we know Google crawls and looks for. Okay, this is the strategy to get you ranking. And then that second step is the 350 citations on the websites we built. That's also going to pull the domain rank up. And that's really important because it's going to take them 2 3 weeks. Now, the little part that my design team is going to do is morph the websites into this cool one platform process. That's just going to take us a few days. So probably a nickel or less, I think, is what we're going to charge to do that. The fees that went out for the SEO is strictly for the SEO team because they actually have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of writing and scripting going on inside. Now we do use AI, but we do purify that. We modify that AI content to plug in there, and that's for the back end stuff that's really not seen, and some stuff that's seen on the front end. Okay. We don't want to make it too muddy, obviously, but you do have to load it up because we know what Google's looking for. So that would be step one, is to take care of, because I know you were asking what's kind of next steps. Hopefully you can see this. Go ahead and pay the invoice for the SEO build out, as we call it, okay, the startup. And I know it says web refresh, and what that refers to, and I apologize, is the refresh with the SEO content. That's a 2 to 3 week job. And then pay the invoice, which I'll send one out for the morphing of the website. And I'll show you what I think is going to be best. So let me kill this camera on me and then show you. So a couple things real fast. It's not verified. There's two kinds of verifications video. One is storefront. You shouldn't be doing a storefront because people don't come there to do business typically. Okay. Um, so you're not like a retail store, and you're more like a service business. You're going to the patients more likely. So that's a different kind of video. That may be why it's getting denied. But I was just going to show you. Um, this was done a while back, this Waters Creek, but the reason why it won't show until that verification gets approved. And then we can change it like we need to. Okay. The good news is all of the mapping phase one is going to be all the way from Sherman down to the Metroplex. That was the easiest path we could get you launched. And then phase two was that northern part of the Metroplex. And then phase three was going to be down in the Arlington and Central area that you mentioned, Gary, I think on the map when we sent it out the first time. So it's all blocked off correctly, and it's actually set up for your move. So should be good. When you go to the domains, we have hospice.com, the .org is forwarded there. TX was kind of an interim for Level Cares. We can still use Level Cares. It just can't use it for the email yet. And that's going to take longer. But it doesn't mean that we can't drive, the business to this. That means I would take this domain and redirect it to, and it could still be used for email, redirect it to this and let this be live, because you want these three things, the partners, hospice, and this, and any redirects to fill those boats up, to work properly. Okay. And this is the idea that that we would use. So if you go here, you can see, you come here, and I've taken off the overlay because I really do like the pictures. I know the problem is people don't like their pictures, and you should never ask people how much they like their picture, because you're always going to get the feedback, they're not happy with it, can they change it? Man, I've got some people that do $500,000 a month that refuse to use their picture, or they don't want their voice or picture on stuff. It's like, but you're the thing, right? So, but you can see this got changed a little bit. You see how that pulses at you, more services? It takes me directly to the other website. So instead of going to another website, let's use the Lovewell Hospice because it does rank right now. It just needs a little help, and we'll tie everything in there. And this is how I mean it. So like if you look at, yeah. So Denix Legal, right? This is really cool even on mobile. What this does is it shows up real nice and clean. You see that? That's just loading time because I'm on a camera. So instead of call now, unless you want call now, we could do, hospice care, home care, right? And palliative slash med partners, and then visit the website. So see, it works really cool because mobile users is increasing and you want that to look snazzy, quick, and to the point, right? You might even get more than one service out of people because, home care can lead to hospice and palliative care can feed off of either one, I believe. So take a look at that for what it is, the magnitude of what that would grow into. But you see, that's the .com of the website. So if I go visit the website, it's /home. And if I go visit services, right? If I pick the first one, you see it's got like a little menu button, just switches, right? Okay. And then if you go back to their home page here, which is home, not the .com by itself, they only focus on three things. See, and this is really important. So we could have the Lovewell home care pull up. We can have the hospice pull up, but really all inside of the hospice, I think, is the best plan because Lovewell Hospice is ranking. So then it would be, lovewellhospice.com /home care or hospice care, right? And then, or Grayson County Care, right? So all of that could get magnified in that. And then Lovewell lovewellhospice.com /medcare partners, right? Or palliative care. All those can get funneled to the right pages and section. And as they grow on their own with all the domains being redirected to one, then we could actually see the data and go, it's justifiable to break this out on its own. Let it have its own website, but it's still interconnected, right? But this kind of platform, I think, is really what you need, and we can easily do that. It'll take us a few days. We're giving you the brother-in-law discount because this is magnanimous. This legal firm, I can't tell you the amount of flow they drive to those guys do commercials and stuff, right? And the flow they get, they got to have this thing filtered. It's almost like a call tree, if you will, or a call center because, the front line or the lines to the operation get overwhelmed. You need the girls and guys that are doing what they're doing to process claims and payments and patients instead of a bunch of calls. But you might find you a couple of talented people that can take calls. That's why I caution you on this because it can cost you more if you once a flow starts happening, and if you fumble that, you just there's no recouping it. You done spent to throw that football, right? And the idea behind the whole thing is when you play the game, especially on the digital, it's kind of like an airline ticket. The more you spend, the closer up front and services you can get, right? And then you're always up front. But the longer you wait, you might wind up in the back of the plane. But if you wait too long, it's going to cost you as much as the guy up front, and you're in the very back of the plane because the seats are selling out. And there's only so much seats in that fuselage, right? Same thing. There's only so many positions that even matter to Google. There's a lot of people buying the little cheap, get me on page number 1, but they're not ranking any higher than, 30 or 40. I had a customer call me the other day that needs SEO because he's got some new competition on the scene. And he says, I'm on page 2, rank 23. Is that any good? No, it's not. And he paid somebody 6 months to get that. So the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to get you up into that number 1, 2, 3 position organically. And then you'll get all the calls and all the traffic. And then we'll have a website that receives it well and filters it to where it needs to go. I do like the pictures. I do like the warm feel. Some of these pictures had heavy overlays on them. I don't like it. Like if you go to the other one, I took it off of there, right? There was some heavy overlays, right? That made them look kind of fuzzy, but it kind of, made you focus on what was written in front, right? So the whole idea is Lovewell Cares and our Lovewell Care Services, right? Lovewell Hospice, we got to go with what makes sense. And then bring all eyeballs to a sorting kind of little landing page and then let people take advantage of what they need. We'll just have to talk about whether or not you want it to be a phone call button, or let's just go to the content of the service they need button, right? And I think that would probably be best at first, unless you can tell me you've got the manpower, the know-how on manning the phones. Okay, besides a service call, right? Or calling about a claim. I'm talking about just inbound raw people that are looking you up and going, I don't know what I need. Our mom is in a bad way. How does this work? You're going to get those calls. Maybe they can qualify for Medicaid and they don't have it yet. These are all great opportunities and doorways to go through as you start to grow the businesses in small increments in lateral positions instead of just vertical, right? While in the meantime, growing vertical. Okay, appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.